I'm just gonna talk maybe briefly because it's really detailed and I don't know how much further we can go. But you know, we said in Belgium we have to pay taxes, the employers and the employees, and we have to pay something to the social security, the workers and the employers. And at some of these points you can have a reduction, so you don't have to pay the full price. And one of these reductions is when you engage a young worker or an old worker. So here we are in het Vlaams gewest, in Flanders. If you engage someone who's 58 or more, or if you engage a young guy that doesn't even finished his secondary school, then you can have some reductions. So you don't pay the full price for social security, but you have some reductions. I will not detail all the conditions and stuff because otherwise your head's gonna explode and I don't want that to happen. But just to know it exists, and if you have some questions, just go looking on the website of the Social Security, because there all the conditions, the amounts and all stuff are detailed. But just know, if you engage an older people or a young guy that doesn't have his diploma of secondary school, you can have some reductions. You can also have reductions when it's your first employee that you engage. And maybe you already have that in your shop. Depending on which worker it is, when you have a first employee, then your shop runs well, you engage a second person. For each of these persons, you can have a reduction of your contribution to the Social Security. You see here a view of the amounts, but it's interesting to take a look at it because you can take a lot of money back from the Social Security. In the horeca, but so here it's only for the horeca, you can also have a reduction for your vaste werknemers, so people you have fixed in your company, not your flexi, not your students, not your extra, someone you engage for indefinite time. You can have this reduction and it's 800 euros per kwartaal. Kwartaal is 3 months, so 800 euros in 3 months, it's interesting, I think. And it's only in the horeca if you have maximum 50 workers. So I think it's for the most of your shops a possibility. So just know it exists. Another one that's really interesting, and here it's not a reduction of your social security, but it's a reduction on your taxation, on your bedrijfsvoorheffing. It's for the supplementary hours the people work. You know, some people are working full time, but maybe they worked 45 hours in a week, maybe in your shop. That's supplementary hours. And for the 360 first supplementary hours, you can have a reduction of almost half of your taxation for these hours. So that's also an interesting one, certainly in the horeca, because you maybe have a lot of supplementary hours that are worked. So you can have a reduction of 40% of the taxation you pay for the supplementary hours. Another reduction of taxation is when you're working at night or in team. I don't know if in your shops you have teamwork. You know that a team works from 10 till 2 and then another one from 2 till 4 and so on and so on. For this kind of work you can also have a reduction. 25% of the taxation you have to pay less if you fulfill the conditions